All right. So my example group, this is my scenario. I have all my anecdotal notes about this group already. I've got student 13, student 17, and student 28. For their phonological awareness skills, they've mastered skills 1 through 6. So that means that in my past assessment, when I'm looking at what skills they need next, I'm going to want to be looking at the skill that aligns to subtest 7. Their letter sounds, they have full mastery. Their decoding, they're at late partial, but spelling is middle partial. We see this a lot with decoding performing much higher. This one isn't much higher. This is a little bit higher, but we see decoding as higher than spelling often, not always, but often. So this is my example group. So I'm going to kind of use what we just talked about. Back up just to make sure. Phonological awareness skills and tying everything back to the basic reading skills. Letter sounds, full mastery. Decoding is stronger, but still needs work. Spelling needs the most work. So now I'm going to use that to map out how I'm going to spend my time during small group. And we know in a perfect world, we'd like to see every kid every day, but it's not always possible. So just thinking about like in reality, how many times might a teacher see this group? Maybe they would see the group 3 times a week. So I'm gonna block out my Tuesdays and Thursdays because I'm gonna be seeing a different group on those days. And then I know that they're gonna need some phonemic awareness. So I wanna make sure that I have the first 5 minutes of my lesson with a phonemic awareness activity to kind of use as my warm up. And then we know that they needed some decoding. Even their decoding was higher. We don't want to just say, oh, we're not going to do it. We still want to do it. We don't want to only do decoding. We need to make sure we have time and maybe even more time to put in that encoding with the spelling and phonics. And then we want to make sure that we're connecting everything back to a text so that the students are practicing all of these skills in a text and a decodable reader. So we want to build in some time for that fluency piece. And then we also want to have time to do some quick checks to make sure that the students are mastering. So what I just did here was a really fancy animation of how I would just set up my shell. How do I know how much time I'm going to spend with the kids on each of these skills?